So guys, Bob Arum he said Bob Arum said something about Pacquiao where he said the reason why he left us is because he was asking for too much money and his numbers weren't as big anymore, so we couldn't really afford him because he was asking for numbers that were about 1 million pay-per-view buys, but he wasn't doing 1 million pay-per-view buys because he was talking about Pacquiao Thurman and the fact that 450,000 pay-per-view buys is a good amount of number. It's a good number. However, Pacquiao's asking for 1 million pay-per-view buys. He's asking the money that he's asking for is, if you don't do 1 million pay-per-view buys, you're at a loss as a show. I don't know whether I agree with what Bob Arum's saying there. The reported purses for this fight was 10 million for Pacquiao and 2.5 million for Thurman. If you do 1 million pay-per-view buys, right, that's 80 million. If it's £80 on the £80 pay-per-view, that's 80 million. So I don't agree with Bob Arum there. And even if they said it did 450, right, that would be 45 million. No, not 45. Sorry. 80. So it'd probably be about just say round it off 40 million, 40 something million pay-per-view buys. It would come to about 40 something million, which is a lot of dough, and they only earned together, according to what the purses were 12.5, and then they had a 6 million gate as well. So that's a lot of money. That's about 86 million. Sorry, not 86, but maybe 50 million the show earned, which out of that, the fighter's only taking 12.5. So it doesn't quite make sense what Bob Arum is saying, that he was asking for money that was almost 1 million pay-per-view buys. Was he? I don't know. It doesn't seem like. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one because Bob Arum is saying that Manny Pacquiao is asking for 1 million pay-per-view buys revenue when he only got paid 10 million according to the sources. So how is he asking for 1 million pay-per-view buys again? Is it Bob Arum telling Porky Pies, or is it just the fact that Manny Pacquiao wanted to leave and he's just trying to make reasons why he couldn't afford? Because a lot of promoters do that. They try to make it out like we let him go rather than he went himself. Manny Pacquiao's contract with Bob Arum was up, and I think he made a decision himself that he wanted to go with PBC because all the welterweights were with PBC, and also Mayweather was with PBC. The whole thought process was the fact that Mayweather was with PBC, so the fight would be with Mayweather would be easier to be made. And also, if the Mayweather fight doesn't happen, then there's the other guys that he can fight. I think the whole purpose for Manny Pacquiao to join BBC was the Mayweather fight, which now looks more likely. But I don't agree with Bob Arum that Manny Pacquiao was asking for 1 million pay-per-view buys worth of revenue. Like what he was asking for, the only way Top Rank would have made a profit if he was making 1 million pay-per-view buys. But if what the purses are correct, from what's being reported, he's only asked for 10 million. So that's nowhere near 1 million pay-per-view buys. Because if he did 1 million pay-per-view buys, it would be 80 million revenue, and Pacquiao's only taking 10 million of that. So and Thurman only got 2.5, so that would be what, 12.5 out of what, 80, and then the gate did 6, so that'd be 86 altogether. Surely he couldn't be asking, that's a lot of revenue. That's a lot of revenue that there's been generated there for, the purses aren't that high. So I don't quite agree with what Bob Arum is saying, but who knows? I don't know the full truth behind it. Bob Arum's obviously got his reasons why he let Pacquiao go. I think maybe Pacquiao left, if I'm honest with you, but obviously promoters love doing that. When a fighter leaves them, they try to make it out like they let the fighter go rather than the fighter going himself. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.